Now our next story comes from Poopella, and just to give you a trigger warning before we do get into it, it contains sexism and slurs within the story, although, you know, I usually just call them slurs anyway. And coming back after the story, just to throw in an extra little trigger warning that if you're eating or anything right now, you might want to skip this one. There is talk of toilet behavior, nothing extreme, but I know some people love a little warning on that, so just to warn you there. But the title of this one is My 21 Female Boyfriend 21 Male of 7 Months Just Threw Me Out of His Apartment because I sent him a poop sticker on Facebook. Is he being immature, or am I? I'm embarrassed by how childish and petty this sounds, especially compared to other stuff on this subreddit. However, this is my first relationship and I honestly don't know what to think about what just happened. First of all, my boyfriend Greg and I have a pretty immature sense of humor and always have. We like to tease each other a lot and commonly partake in body humor. Like we'd joke about if one of us farted, or after a night out at dinner, we'd drive home and pretend to be in labor and call dibs on the bathroom to deliver our food babies, aka poop. It sounds so childish typing it out, but we have a lot of fun and are very comfortable with each other. Also, we never had a fight before communicating openly about things, but have never had a real problem to communicate about. Tonight I was at his place to marathon Netflix. Greg got up to go to the bathroom and I asked him if I should pause it, aka would he be taking a long time. He answered no, so I figured he was just going to pee. However, 15 minutes later, he still wasn't back from the bathroom. No problem, I got up to make myself a snack. On the way to the kitchen, I walked past the bathroom and heard the sounds of an app that Greg and I commonly play on our phones. I thought this was pretty funny. On Facebook, there are sticker sets to use in the chat feature, which are basically like unique emojis. One of the sets feature an anime-looking poop character and his toilet paper friend. No idea why someone made this, but I think it's quite funny and kind of cute. One of the stickers is the poop character sitting on the toilet, looking intently at his phone. So I playfully sent this to Greg. Me, poop sticker of playing on phone. Hope he then said, "You right now," and he just replied, "Wow." I laughed to myself and put my phone away, made my snack, went back to the living room. Greg came out and we continued to watch Netflix. However, I noticed he was being physically distant, not putting his arm around me, not sitting close to me on the couch. However, I gave him his space. He was quiet for about 20 minutes, then he said, "Do you have a friend you could get to take you home?" I literally did not know what he was talking about. I said, "What?" And he repeated what he'd said. I asked him what was wrong, but he wouldn't answer for a while. I asked him if he was upset with me and he just said, "I just can't believe you did that. That was just really upsetting." I said, "What are you talking about? You mean the sticker?" He said, "Obviously." I was stunned. I had no idea why he was so offended or what exactly I had done wrong, but I immediately apologized. I said, "I'm so sorry that I offended you. I had no idea. That was not my intent at all. I was just joking. Could you tell me what about that upset you so I don't do it again in the future?" Greg flipped out and said I was the arsler if I couldn't see what I did wrong. He said there was something wrong with me and that I had the mentality of a fucking child. I was really hurt by this and asked if he seriously wanted me to leave. He said yes, and I asked if he was going to drive me home. I'd ridden with him and didn't have my car. He said no, because why would he after what I just did? I was so pissed off that I stormed out of the house. Keep in mind this was 11 PM in a crappy part of town. None of the buses were running and I felt too ashamed to call my friends, so I walked all the way home. Nothing happened, but I'm just so mad he would force me to walk home by himself in a shady area just because of this. And he showed no concern for me whatsoever. So now I'm sitting here, fuming. I'm actually considering ending things over this huge overreaction because he refuses to talk to me and explain what's going on. He keeps saying, "You should know." Then he said, "Whatever, I'm going to bed," and cut me off. Reddit, what is going on? Can you shed light on this? Is this even worth trying to salvage? I find his rage at this and refusal to communicate very immature, to the point where I almost don't want to be in a relationship with him anymore. Like, if he has sent me out in the cold for this, is he going to leave me on the side of the road next time we disagree on something? I'm so confused. He has never reacted like this or gotten mad at anything before. I just don't think I did anything really bad. However, this is my first relationship, so if I'm in the wrong, let me know. Thanks. Now I'm wondering, what is the real reason behind this? It can't be just because the poop sticker, because this is their humor that they've established over a period of time by the sounds of it. So it doesn't sound like it'd quite be that. So there's got to be another reason. My first one has come into the usual reason. Is he just trying to break up and doesn't have like the spine to do it himself? So he's using any old excuse because he's not giving you like a reason. He's just saying you should know, basically. Like, how the fuck you meant to know? But a commenter says to OP, that's ridiculous. He made you walk home at 11 PM because of a poop sticker when you make poop jokes all the time. I mean, even if you didn't make poop jokes all the time, there's no reason to make anybody walk home in a sketchy area at night over. Not to mention calling you a BR slur. That's quite literally never okay. This is a serious red flag. I'd dump him harder than an actual shit. Oh, dearie me. I'm such a child. Commenter says, yeah, the arsler language was shocking and horrifying. We joke around, but I never call him a name, let alone an arsler or anything with fucking in front of it. It seemed totally irrational. I think I'm gonna break up with him, but I'm wondering if it's worth it to try and get an explanation for his behavior first, or just never talk to him again. Commenter says, do you think there were maybe some other issues and he immediately just pinned on the first thing he could blame it on? The poop sticker. Sounds like an arsehole for making you walk home so late. Bye, Felicia, his ass. OP says, I've been wondering this myself. If this is really because of some other underlying issue, but for the life of me, I 100% can't think of anything that would be bothering him. He acted totally normal, and we've had a great last couple of weeks. Lots of fun dates, went partying with friends, etc. This is totally out of the blue for me, and I just want to know if he's really upset about something else. But he just won't talk to me. Another commenter asks, why has nobody suggested that maybe their mutual poop humor isn't actually mutual, and he'd been trying to make that clear for a while. He said directly that she was immature. Who knows if it's true? But that's immediately the explanation that came to my mind. And another commenter which says, late to the post, but there is clearly something else going on here. My guess is that he was cheating on you / Tindering / etc. on the phone, and got way paranoid and offensive when you coincidentally messaged him. It's some kind of spontaneous persecution complex stemming from guilt. So OP does come in with an update. It says, thank you everybody for the advice and support. Just to clarify from the last post, I literally only sent Greg the poop sticker and the you right now message, so I'm sure I didn't accidentally write or send anything else. And I sent that through a private chat with only me and him. I did not post it to his wall or through a group chat, though even if I did, I wouldn't really see a reason for extreme offense. Anyway, I hope that answers some posters' questions. After taking today to think about it and talking it over with my best friend, I decided to follow my instinct and the advice of everybody here and break up with Greg. He didn't contact me at all since he abruptly cut me off last night, and after he posted a picture of having a grand old brunch with his buddies on Facebook, I decided enough was enough. He didn't seem to have any remorse, and it really stung to see how few shits he gave about me. Pun intended.